Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Hey, what is up, trainers? PoGo Joel here, coming at you with another Jungle Cup video. And in this video, we'll be covering the electric type Pokemon in the Jungle Cup meta. If you find any of this information helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, and I did make some videos for the other types in this meta. We did the bug and normal types, so be sure to check those out. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Up first, we have Alolan Graveler, a rock and electric type Pokemon with an attack stat of 164, a defense of 164, a stamina of 146. It's going to be weak to fighting, grass, double weak to ground or 4 times weak to ground, and weak to water, resisting flying, so it's a 2 times resistance to flying, resisting electric, fire, normal, and poison. So definitely things we are going to see in the meta here for the Jungle Cup. Alolan Graveler is my favorite of the Alolan Rock Boys because it can get powered up to a higher level, higher than Alolan Golem. So it makes it pretty bulky, and you can put in work. The things you're going to have to look out for are for sure Vigoroth. That's just going to hurt you. Any of the counter users, so Vigoroth, Heracross, and Breloom are just going to destroy you. But if you hold on there, you might be able to get a shot off. Just like here, Rock Blast. With the dual typing, we really do put a hurting on any of the bug flyers and the flying Pokemon, and also with just the regular bugs as well. But yeah, that they're not gonna want to go up against you. They're gonna get in a world of hurt when they do. But yeah, you definitely have to look out for Vigoroth and the fighters. You don't want to stay in those matchups. Get out of there if you can. You will have to look out for Venusaur and Ivysaur. Those are gonna hurt you really bad. But other than that, you're looking pretty good with Alolan Graveler here. Definitely a strong pick, and it goes toe-to-toe with Magnezone, another electric threat. So when Magnezone was ranked higher than Magneton, I thought there was something tricky going on here. Like, how can that be possible? Usually second evolutions can get powered up higher level than their third and final evolution. But yep, Magnezone here is the exception to that rule apparently. It has an attack stat of 238, defense of 205, and a stamina of 172. Going to be weak to fighting, fire, and ground. Look at that weakness to ground, 4 times weakness there. And it's a steel type, so it's going to have all those resistances there on the right. But the thing to look out for is going to be Vigoroth and all of the counter users. They will put a hurting on you, but other than that, you have a good coverage. If you can afford it, go with Flash Cannon, so you can have answer with steel typing there, and you can also have more coverage. Also, that's going to put a hurting on Wigglytuff if you do go up against one, or if you charge up to enough. The ideal moveset is going to be Spark, Wild Charge, Flash Cannon, and I was surprised at how fast Spark charged up all of our charge moves on Magnezone, so definitely keep an eye out on this guy for sure. Up next, we have Alolan Golem with an attack stat of 211, defense of 198, and a stamina of 190, weak to fighting, grass, 4 times weakness to ground, and weak to water. So Alolan Golem is almost identical to Alolan Graveler, except it does not power up to the high level that Alolan Graveler does. But the trade-off is you do get a better move. So Golem is stuck with Rock Throw, Rock Blast, and Thunderbolt. But if you do run Alolan Golem, you can run Rock Throw, Rock Blast, Wild Charge. If you want the spammy Rock Blast, you can keep that there. If not, you can opt to go for a Stone Edge Alolan Golem for a big, heavy, hard-hitting move. You can pair that up with Stone Edge and Wild Charge, and then you have a little unpredictable monster, because a lot of people do expect Rock Blast, but when you charge up to Wild Charge, you don't know if they're just going to spam you with 2 Rock Blasts, or if no Wild Charge is actually going to come out. So definitely practice against this if you have it, if you can. This could be a little tricky for some people, but be aware of Alolan Golem, because he can put a hurt in on all of the same things Graveler can. So any of those bugs, the bug flyers or the flyers, look out. And again, depending on shield play and IVs, you will tie up against Magnezone. What's bad about these Rock Boys, Alolan Rock Boys, is that Lantern in the same typing will take you out because you do have that weakness to Water Gun. So Water Gun Lantern is a threat to you. Mustache Power. Up next we have Lantern, a PvP favorite with an attack stat of 146, a defense of 137, a stamina of 268. It is a water and electric type Pokemon. It's not ranked as high, and I'm not 100% sure why. Well, I think I might know why, but it's going to resist steel, fire, flying, ice, and water. Only going to be weak to grass and ground. What I noticed with all of the other electric type Pokemon here is that they all resist electric type attacks. Because we are part water here, Lantern does not, so any electric attacks up against it hit you for neutral as opposed to resisted. So I think that's one of the main reasons why it loses a lot, or it could lose a lot to some of the pure electric types or better electric type attackers. But from the list mentioned before, we do beat up on the Alolan Rock Boys who are in the same typing, plus Water Gun damage hits a lot of things neutral. And the moveset you're going to want to run on this guy, I think by this point it's mandatory. Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump. If you cannot afford a secondary move, go Thunderbolt. That will work. Time Electric is available in a cup. Lantern's going to be a very popular pick. A lot of people have made Lanterns already. But Lantern is a very bulky Pokemon, so it's perfect to bring in. It takes a lot of hits and it keeps going. Hydro Pump can be the Hail Mary play you need sometimes if you know your Thunderbolt won't be enough, and I've seen it work so many times. So if you can afford it, get that secondary move. If you can't, go Thunderbolt. But Lantern is pretty beastly here. Like I said, those other electric types in the same cup here with us, those pure electric types can put a hurting on us, but in the one shield scenario we can keep our heads above it. So we gotta look out for those Raichus, Alolan Raichus, and any of the other pure electrics that we're gonna cover on the list here as we count down through these. But yeah, it can do work here. Look at this, it takes down Ivysaur pretty far, but we still lose. Next we have Magneton with an attack stat of 223, a defense of 169, a stamina of 137, and it is going to be electric and steel type, so it will be weak to fighting, fire, and a 4x weakness to ground. Resistance is on the right. I always have mixed feelings about Magneton. The best moveset you can possibly bring in for this is a double legacy fast move is going to be Thunder Shock. And the charge move is going to be Discharge. That is going to probably be your two best bets. If you can unlock a secondary move, go ahead and unlock Magnet Bomb, so you do pick up that extra steel coverage there, and that's going to help you in a lot of key matchups. And that's even going to help you against the new Charm Wigglytuff, making some noise here. Magneton definitely has been squishy for me, but it does have its moments where it shines. If you play your cards right, you can definitely use Magneton in this cup. Next we have more of the off-meta picks for you in the cup. For the electric types, we do have Cantonian Raichu, so the regular Raichu, not Alolan Raichu, the Cantonian one from Kanto. So with the regular Raichu, you're going to want to have the legacy move Thunder Shock. If not, Spark can work. It just takes like an extra click here to get to that charge move. Now, when it comes to the charge moves, that's totally up to you what you're going to run. You can run Thunder Punch Wild Charge. That's just going to make you a electric specialist. You can switch it up if you want to be more of a threat to those partial steel bugs and the normal types. You can run Brick Break. If you want to be a spammy monster, go ahead and run Thunder Punch and Brick Break together, and that can definitely work for you and give you more of an advantage, especially against those Alolan Rock Boys for sure. Some people are suggesting Brick Break Wild Charge. That can work for you. I mean, Thunder Shock is going to charge your charge moves pretty quick, making Raichu pretty beastly here. So definitely keep an eye out for it. It is viable for this cup. You'll have to play around and practice with it, but it works. The next off-meta pick is going to be Electivire with an attack of 240, a defense of 163, and a stamina of 181. It is a pure electric type, which just learned a new move, Ice Punch, so you might be able to catch some things off guard and do some damage to the things that are weak to ice, like grass and some of the bug flyers and the flyers. So this will help you out a little bit more with an additional extra coverage, but other than that, it's not going to be doing too much for you. Up next we have Raikou. We get a return back from the Rainbow Cup where it was useful with Wild Charge and Shadow Ball if you can afford it. Now if you can afford it, only Wild Charge, because Shadow Ball is going to help you only against the flyers or the bug flyers, which you kind of already have that coverage with Wild Charge, so no need to do that there. But if you do try it out, look what's going to happen to Vigoroth here. Yep, just give me all the Shadow Balls, I'll kill you before you give me another one. So yeah, you're going to have to invest shields in it, and it's not going to be that useful. Now here are some of the better off-meta choices you can choose. Magnemite, you are going to need a high IV one, maybe 96 to 100, up to you. But if you get closer to that 100 mark, you can definitely do some work here because you get super bulky. With that, you will have a max CP of 1362. Set for Magnemite, it's going to be either Spark or Thundershock for the fast move. For the charge move, you're going to want to run Discharge and Magnet Bomb. Discharge will make you more spammy. Magnet Bomb will give you the additional coverage with that steel move. From there, we're going to go to Alolan Geodude, and it's in the same boat. You're going to want one that's a high IV, so you can try to get it close to its maxing out point at level 40, which is 1293. It can carry Rock Throw for the fast move, and for the secondary, for the charge moves, you're going to go Rock Slide and Thunderbolt. So it can be very, very spammy there and bulky. You'll still have to look out for all the same things as Graveler and Golem, but hey, you do get powered up pretty high up there. Next, it goes into Minun and Pulsel, or Pulsey. They are pretty beastly. Like, people look at them, they underestimate them, but they are pretty good. Minun is going to be the more bulky one, and Pulsey is going to be more of the attacker. I do have some gameplay with Pulsey. I want to try out Minun, but if you have shiny ones, this might be the time to try to take them out and check their IV, see if they're good for PvP. But yeah, they do have Discharge as a spammy fast move that you can bring in, and then they both have Spark as a fast move, which works perfect. You could always unlock the secondary move, go with Thunderbolt, and that will work for you. Then we have Pachirisu, and he maxes out at 1213. Pachirisu can be a really awesome Pokemon for you as well, running Spark, Thunder, and Thunder Punch. If you can only afford one, go Thunder Punch, and if you have one, you're lucky. So far, that is a regional exclusive to Alaska and parts of Canada, and it was available to us if you went to GoFest. So good luck if you have it. And then the last Pokemon worth talking about is going to be Alolan Raichu. So Alolan Raichu is going to be part Psychic and Electric. So that Psychic is going to make us resist all of those counters from Vigoroth, and it's going to be one of the better ones to go up against Vigoroth and the Flyers. But we are part Psychic, which makes us really weak to Bug. So take a look at these off-meta options. You can definitely have to invest a shield in one of these guys to make them viable for your team, but they are options that you can use. If you find any of this helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, and let me know how you do, trainers. Good luck with your jungle cups out there, and until next time, battle on!